Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have that irresistible quality that makes others fall for them, almost as if by magic? It's like they have this hidden charm that draws people in, making them the object of admiration and affection without even trying. Well, what if I told you that you could tap into that same power? What if you could learn the secrets to making someone fall head over heels for you, using simple yet powerful techniques grounded in psychology? Today, I'm going to reveal 5 tips that can help you create a deep emotional connection with someone special, making it nearly impossible for them to resist falling in love with you. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility, so use these tips with care and always with the right intentions. Let's dive in. First things first, let's talk about the foundation of any attraction, having a strong identity. You see, in a world where everyone is constantly bombarded with images of who they should be, whether it's through social media, advertisements, or peer pressure, having a strong sense of self is incredibly attractive. It's easy to get lost in the noise, to start mimicking others in the hope of being liked or accepted. But here's the truth. People are naturally drawn to those who are authentic, who know who they are, and who are unapologetically themselves. When you have a strong identity, you don't need to change who you are to fit someone else's mold. You don't need to try to be what you think they want. Instead, you exude confidence, and that confidence is magnetic. People are attracted to those who stand out because they're different, not because they're trying to be someone else. So, the first tip in making someone fall in love with you is to embrace your uniqueness. Be true to who you are, and let that authenticity shine through in everything you do. Now, let's move on to a tip that might surprise you. Disappear from their life suddenly. I know it sounds counterintuitive, right? But hear me out. When you're constantly available to someone, they might start to take you for granted. They know you're always there, so they don't feel the need to make an effort to keep you around. But when you suddenly become less accessible, it creates a void. And what do people do when they lose something? They start to miss it. They start to realize just how much they valued your presence, even if they didn't notice it before. This doesn't mean you should disappear completely or play games with someone's emotions. It's about creating a little bit of distance, enough to make them think about you more often, to make them appreciate the time they spend with you. It's a psychological trigger that can make someone's feelings for you grow stronger because they start to realize how important you are to them. Absence, as they say, makes the heart grow fonder, and in this case, it can also make someone fall deeper in love with you. The third tip is all about how you approach compliments, especially when you're interested in someone who is beautiful and constantly receives compliments. We all know someone who is used to hearing how attractive they are, and while compliments are nice, they can start to lose their impact when they're too frequent or predictable. So, what do you do instead? You focus on the things that others might overlook. Compliment their intelligence, their sense of humor, their kindness qualities that go beyond the surface. When you acknowledge these deeper traits, you show that you see them as more than just a pretty face. You're letting them know that you appreciate who they are as a person, not just how they look. This kind of attention is rare and valuable. It's a subtle way of saying, I see you for who you truly are, and that kind of recognition is incredibly powerful. It makes the person feel valued on a deeper level, which is one of the key ingredients in making someone fall in love. Next up is a tip that's all about meeting expectations specifically, the expectations typically associated with your gender. Now, this doesn't mean conforming to outdated stereotypes or trying to fit into a box. It's about understanding what qualities are traditionally valued in your gender and showcasing them in a way that feels authentic to you. For example, if you're a man, traits like confidence, reliability, and the ability to protect and provide are often emphasized. If you're a woman, qualities like nurturing, empathy, and warmth might be highlighted. These traits aren't just societal expectations, they're qualities that, when displayed genuinely, can create a sense of trust and security. And trust is one of the most important factors in building a deep emotional connection. When someone feels that they can rely on you, that you meet their expectations in a way that makes them feel safe and understood, it lays the groundwork for love to grow. It's about showing that you can fulfill the roles that are traditionally associated with your gender, but doing so in a way that is true to who you are. Finally, we come to the last and perhaps the most powerful tip of all: identifying and fulfilling unfulfilled childhood needs. This might sound complicated, but it's actually one of the most effective ways to build a strong emotional bond with someone. Many people carry emotional needs from their childhood into adulthood, needs that were never fully met, and that still influence their behavior and feelings today. These needs can often be detected in the way someone talks about their experiences, the things they frequently mention, or how they interpret certain situations. For example, if someone often talks about feeling unappreciated, it could be a sign that they have a deep need for validation that wasn't fulfilled when they were younger. By paying attention to these cues, you can identify what they're truly longing for and provide it in a way that no one else has. This creates a powerful bond because you're not just addressing their current desires, you're fulfilling a need that has been with them for years, possibly even decades. It's this level of understanding and empathy that can truly make someone fall in love with you, as they'll feel seen, understood, and cared for in a way that goes beyond surface-level attraction. But let's dive a little deeper into each of these points, because understanding the psychology behind them can help you apply them more effectively in your own life. 1. The power of a strong identity. Having a strong identity isn't just about knowing who you are, it's about being confident in that knowledge and letting it guide your actions and decisions. When you're confident in your identity, you don't feel the need to seek validation from others. This independence is incredibly attractive because it shows that you're not needy or desperate for attention. Instead, you're someone who is secure in themselves, and that security is something others are naturally drawn to. But how do you develop a strong identity? It starts with self-awareness. Take the time to really get to know yourself, your values, your beliefs, your passions. What drives you? What makes you unique? Once you have a clear understanding of who you are, embrace it. Don't try to hide or change yourself to fit someone else's expectations. The more you embrace your true self, the more confident you'll become, and that confidence will naturally attract others to you. 2. The psychological impact of disappearing. The idea of disappearing from someone's life for a short period is rooted in the concept of scarcity. When something becomes less available, its value increases. This is a well-known principle in psychology, and it applies to relationships as well. When you're always available, it's easy for someone to take you for granted. But when you create a little bit of distance, it forces the other person to reflect on what you mean to them. This doesn't mean you should play games or manipulate someone's feelings. It's about giving both of you some space to breathe. During this time, the other person may start to miss you, to realize how much they enjoy your company, or to recognize the value you bring to their life. When you reappear, they may find that their feelings for you have grown stronger because they've had the time to appreciate what they had when you were around. 3. The art of unique compliments. Compliments are a double-edged sword. They can either make someone feel great, or they can come across as insincere if they're too generic. When it comes to someone who is constantly receiving compliments about their looks, it's easy for those compliments to lose their impact. This is where the art of unique compliments comes into play. Instead of complimenting the obvious, look for qualities that are often overlooked. Is this person particularly witty? Do they have a great work ethic? Are they incredibly compassionate? Complimenting these traits shows that you're paying attention to more than just their appearance. You're noticing the things that really make them who they are. This kind of compliment is much more likely to resonate with them because it speaks to their inner self rather than just the exterior. It's a way of showing that you see and appreciate them on a deeper level, which can create a stronger emotional connection. 4. Meeting gender-based expectations. While society's expectations for gender roles have evolved over time, there are still certain traits that are traditionally valued in men and women. Understanding these traits and showcasing them in a way that feels authentic to you can help create a sense of security and trust in a relationship. For men, traits like confidence, strength, and reliability are often emphasized. This doesn't mean you need to be macho or overbearing. It's about being someone who can be relied upon, someone who is confident in their decisions and actions. For women, qualities like nurturing, empathy, and warmth are often highlighted for